Greetings. Greetings, my friends. Lesson 30 from A Course in Miracles in the workbook. It says here, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. The idea for today is the springboard for vision. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before. Nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you. Today, we are trying to use a new kind of projection. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Instead, we are trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. This is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see. Today's idea should be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly, looking about you and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see now or could see now if it were within the range of your sight. Real vision is not limited to concepts such as near and far. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range, as well as those you can actually see as you apply today's idea. Real vision is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. The mind is its only source. To aid in helping you to become more accustomed to this idea as well, devote several practice periods to applying today's ideas with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind, and looking within range rather than without. Today's idea applies equally to both. So, God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. And as you've heard me say with all of the lessons, they're all so potent and powerful and important because we are training ourselves just like we train in a new skill in piano or in learning to cook. There's a learning curve, there's some practicing that needs to happen. So to see God in our minds, to see that God is in everything we see because God is in our minds, is a skill. It's something we want to repeat over and over again so that we can realize that God is not out there. You know, in so much of our religious traditions and in many of our backgrounds, there is this idea that we're making supplication to the divine and the divine is out there. And so we find ourselves yearning for something on the outside, for security, for health, for prosperity. But the Course in this lesson is saying, if you are seeing an absence of that, whether on the outside or the inside, because now we're using a new kind of projection, it's because it is within your mind. So God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. So that shows us this distinction between the thought system of the world, the thought system that permeates the reality that we find ourselves in. That is causing the suffering. And this is the thought system that we are coded with. We are ideas in the mind of God. We are extensions of God in a body, whether we like that or not. Whatever thoughts and feelings you have about your parents, they're still your parents. You can't change that. They brought you into this world. Same thing with our Creator, the divine, Father, Mother, God. We are extensions of that. So God is in us. God is in us and we are eternal because of that. Our bodies don't last forever, but our souls have been around forever and they will be around. We are eternal. So if God is in everything I see because God is in my mind, there is a lightness that comes from that. There is a restfulness that we can tap when we realize that the things that we desire on the outside occur first on the inside, and they occur on the inside when we align to that. So if we don't like what we see in the world, if we don't like the war and the poverty and all of those things, I mean, who does? We can look within and say, okay, where am I in conflict within myself. And as we heal that, we can start to see things shifting. And I know that seems maybe grandiose to believe that when we heal ourselves and we shift our perception and we move beyond our own suffering, that we alleviate the suffering of others. But it is actually true. When we heal, we're not healed alone. Now, we might not see big, grand, expansive, examples of that, but in your own world, in your own reality, you will start to see things shift because God is in everything I see, because God is in my mind. Sit with that today. Practice it as much as you can. Remember it when you feel triggered and when you just feel like there's a moment of remembering, of connecting, of returning to center. Much love. I will see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.